Why do I have this little tuft? I'm going to keep it. All right, let's crack on. Hello, my name is Voorny and I'm going to quickly show you how I make my thumbnails. So whenever I go live on Twitch, I just want to get over the wall! Oh, fucking hell, man. Twitch.tv/Voorny, by the way. I stream on there most days. I make these thumbnails before I go live on Twitch, and they don't take me long at all, but they do the job perfectly. So I'm going to run through you the method I use to make my thumbnails very quickly, and hopefully you guys can take something away from it. You know, speed up your thumbnail making process, or, you know, take any tips away from me to use in any of your thumbnails that you like to make. So for this tutorial, I'm going to assume you have the basic knowledge of Photoshop, basic editing skills. That's all it is. There's nothing advanced in this tutorial, just basic editing skills in Photoshop. So I'm actually going to be making the thumbnail for this YouTube video that you're watching now. So you should already have a title in mind, and I always tend to use my face because I saw a statistic somewhere where using your face and sometimes smiling and looking at the camera can actually lead to more clicks. So I kind of just use that as a general rule of thumb for pretty much all my thumbnails. So the first thing you're going to need to do is obviously get a picture of yourself. I'm going to take a screenshot of this image you see right here. The way I do that is just by using OBS and screen capturing and taking a screenshot, but you can take a picture any way you want on your phone, etc. I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to say cheese. Yeah, there we go. A nice cheesy photo. So let's head over to Photoshop now, get a picture in and start making the thumbnail. So here we are in Photoshop. What we want to do is want to go to File, New. I've got custom preset details here, which is 1920 by 1080 and the resolution is 72. You can have the background contents as white. I tend to have it transparent, so we're just going to change that. RGB color 8-bit. Don't color manage square pixels and all that good jazz. Orientation, make sure it's landscape, not portrait. Obviously the picture needs to be 1920 by 1080. It's just your standard thumbnail size, really. So once we got all that, click create, and here we go. We have a blank canvas. If you can get a landscape picture that is 1920 by 1080, that's a great start. It doesn't need to be those exact measurements, but just go ahead and get a landscape picture. So once we got a picture, just copy and paste it in here. There we go. We have my lovely face in there in shot. So the first thing I do is make sure my layer is selected. I'll then go to this rectangular marquee tool here by either clicking that or pressing M on the keyboard, which then brings up this select and mask button here. Click that, and then as soon as I click that, I will click select subject here. And there you go. It's cut me out and it's pretty much done the work for me. This is how I'm able to produce these so quickly. So what I also like to do here is just smooth out the edges here. Don't go too high. I just go to like 6, 7-ish. And what it does is it slightly smooths out these edges here, and I also like to feather it just a tiny bit. As soon as I've done that, I'll click OK, and then what that does is it applies a layer mask. Make sure the layer mask is selected, and what you can do is go in and just remove some parts that we can see in the hair here. So Alt scroll. So if you hold down Alt key and scroll, and you can scroll in and out, that's how I quickly zoom. So first of all, you want to be making sure you're on the mask by clicking the mask layer here, selecting the brush tool B, switching it to black. So remember, anything black will take away stuff from the layer mask, and anything with white will add it back in like this. That's the great thing about layer masks. You can switch between the two, as you can see here, by pressing X. So it's X here, X again, which quickly adds and removes. So make sure black is selected again by pressing X, and then you could just flick between the two, flip back to white, and just brush some in. And I'm just gonna, it's pretty much there. Like, there's nothing I need to do. This is a great cutout. So if we Alt scroll out, have a look at that, that's fantastic. The next thing I do is I will make sure this layer is selected, hold Control and J. What that does is it duplicates the layer. And then on the bottom layer, I will select this mask, right click the mask and say delete layer mask. Boom. So now it just looks like normal, but if you remove the background, you can see the background and the foreground, being me, are now separate. And then what I like to do is to give it more depth of field, I like to make sure this bottom layer is selected, the background layer. I go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And you can play around with this. You can, I normally go around 4 pixels, and you press, as you can see, you could blur the background right out, but that looks a bit silly. So I reckon around 4 pixels, 6, actually 7 looks good there. So, and it gives it that real bokeh effect, or bokeh, I don't know how you pronounce that, the camera effect there. So basically, if we turn this background layer on and off, you can see it's now, I'm really present in the foreground. What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to select both layers here. Again, I just want to frame it so I have some text at the side. So I'm quite central at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab both layers by clicking once, holding shift, clicking the other. That's both layers. Now pressing Control and T, and I want to position this so I have, you know, I can have some text at the side here. So I'm trying to just position it like that. You can also move yourself around now like this and make yourself more, you know, in frame. So you can mess around with the foreground as well. So I'm just going to pop myself here. So basically, just get yourself in frame. Right, so now I've got that done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of outer glow to myself. So you get your foreground layer, myself here. And I'm going to make sure it's selected. Go to Effects. And then down at the bottom here and go to outer glow. I'm going to give myself a nice white outer glow. Click this box here, set it all the way to white. And as you can see, just play around with the settings to get something that quite nice. Oh, I just noticed here, there is a bit of halo effect. So what I'm going to do is go back in and just edit the mask. And you can edit the mask at any time, by the way. That's the great thing about masks. Go ahead, bump the opacity up like that. Now you can see that mask. So I'm going to alt scroll in again. You can see there's something going on with the mask here. So what I'm going to do is click the mask layer again. Press the brush tool by pressing B and just flicking between with X and making sure that's just caused by some random pixel that's being picked up. And as you can see, I'm just scrubbing away on the mask layer using the black paint tool. And there we go. That's a lot better. So now we need to add text. So we go to our font tool here. Select which font that you want. I really like this Akira expanded font. A great resource for fonts that I like to use all the time is a website called dafont.com. I'll put a link in the description down below. I like this Akira expanded. We're going to click. We need to think of a catchy title. Hold on a second. So I'm going to go with quick and easy thumbnail. What I like to do is I like to get my text. I'm going to get the word quick here. I actually don't like Akira for this kind of word. I'm going to change it to jumper. You can resize it anytime by pressing Control T and then resizing it, double clicking, and there you go. I'm going to change this to white really quick. So grab that, change to white, boom. Control T, pull it out. A quick tip you can do with the move tool selected, hover over the text, hold down Alt, click and drag. What it does is it just create a quick copy of that, which we can then change. And you don't want to spend too much time on this bit. Quick and we do it again. Alt, hold, easy. Hold down Alt again. Thumb now. Press the move tool, Control T, resize it. And so what I like to do here is press Control R to bring up the ruler. And I'll take the edge of this E. And I'll also take the end of the Y. I like to keep everything aligned just to make sure everything's aligned. It looks really nice on the eye. Go to quick here, Control T, boom. And what I'm doing is aligning everything. Go to and. I kind of like the and not being aligned with it. It looks kind of cool, leaving this little space here. I'm going to make sure by pressing the move tool and making sure I'm just moving that edge up to this ruler point here. Let's go to easy. Again, you don't have to be so precise with this. That's what I mean. It's meant to be quick and easy. Grab the word thumb here on the right side. Control T. Pull it all the way out to this edge. And as you can see, that lines up pretty well. I want to get rid of these ruler guides now. So I'm going to go to View and then go down to Clear Guides. And that gets rid of the rulers straight away. So the text doesn't really stand out or pop. You really want people to see this text, obviously, within the thumbnail. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the pen tool by pressing P, and that should switch to the pen tool over here on your left-hand side. I'm going to just make a rough box. So clicking in a rough box, shift, 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 around the text here. Like, just put a box around the text, essentially. And I'm also going to change the fill over to, like, a blue. I think this blue looks really nice. You can use any color you want. So obviously we can't see the text because this shape is on top. So we're going to put it underneath. Boom. And there you go. You can change this box at any time if it's not right. So I can see the top here. I just want a little bit of thickness here. So I'm going to press Control T while the shape is selected and just hold down Shift and bring out the edges. Because if you don't hold down Shift, it kind of makes the whole thing. You can see the top, left, right hand side thicken up to us. So you just want to hold Shift and just get it looking like that. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a quick and easy thumbnail. What I also like to do as well, I like to change some of the colors on some of the words just to make it pop out a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go for a green. So I'm going to go to the color palette tool over here, go to like a nice green color, maybe this pastel green. And then I'm just going to get the text tool, highlight the quick, and just do this switch here, like 1, 2, and that changes the color really quick. Press the move tool just to see it. Yeah, I like that. And I think I'm going to change the thumbnail to color to like a pastel-y red. Again, just pick your color here, get the text tool, hover over, select the whole thing, switch over here. Quick and easy thumbnail. The only thing I don't like about it is that I'm too close to this text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the foreground and the background images by holding Control and clicking both. So they're both highlighted down here. Pressing Control T. And again, if I was to take this picture again, I would have left more space at the side, but here we are. This is what Photoshop's all about. It's just editing on the go. Boom. So there we go. I'm slightly more to left. I'm pretty happy with that. Another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the shape one at the bottom here, select the thumbnail at the top, holding Shift. So they're all selected, and I'm just going to press this folder button down here. Boom. And what that does is it puts everything into a folder, so I can move this around now as a group and put this anywhere I want. So I'm going to move this around, maybe put it a little bit more top left. And also what I'm going to do, I'm just going to rename it and just put text and box so we know what it is. Press Control T while you're on the group layer, aka the folder. So it selects the whole thing. You're transforming. Control T, hold down Control on this top square here and just shift it a little bit to the left or right. That little tilt for me, I just love. Anytime you want to see it like kind of full res while it looks at 100%, you just press Control and 1, and that will just bring it into focus while it looks like at 100%, so you can check the quality. Okay, so we're nearly there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add some contrast and brightness to the image to really make it pop a little bit more. So I'm going to select this layer here, and with this layer selected, I'm going to go to Adjustments just above this and go to Brightness and Contrast. So this brightness and contrast adjustment layer will affect anything underneath. If I had it on top of the text box, it will also affect the text box as well, which I don't want to do. So I've put it above my foreground and background layer. So when I now adjust the brightness and contrast, it only adjusts those. So I'm going to increase the contrast a little bit, put the brightness up just a tiny bit. Again, you might have a better high quality camera which deals with this way better than my camera does. So if we turn that layer on and off now, it just gives it a little bit more vibrance, a little bit more pop. I'm going to alt scroll away, just have a look. I think we're nearly done. So what I'm going to do here is go to the text and box layer, and I'm going to press effects and I'm going to press outer glow, and I'm just going to give my box a little bit of an outer glow, just like that. Just a tiny outer glow to match with the outer glow on me. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that thumbnail. So once you're ready, hold Control, Alt, Shift, and S, and what that does is it saves it for web. Now, I just like to save it as JPEG, set it to very high here, and just click save. It just optimizes it for web, keeps the file size small, and that's your thumbnail done. And remember, the more you do this process, the quicker and quicker you got to be. I can smash these out now in about 10, 15 minutes before I go live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Voorny, by the way. They're just quick, easy, professional, clean looking. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And leave a comment down below with any Photoshop tutorial, maybe Adobe Premiere tutorial, maybe an OBS tutorial you'd like to see in the future. I have been Voorny. It's bye from me and bye from Bob. And until next time, peace.